October is a magical month for gardeners. While most people see it as the end of the growing season, we, the soil lovers, the mulch movers, the compost brewers, know it's just the beginning of something deeper. This is the month where true soil builders get to work, not with chemical fertilizers or expensive amendments, but with something so simple that most people overlook it completely. If you want soil that breathes life, explodes with worms, and naturally nourishes your crops better than any store-bought fertilizer ever could, then what you pour into your beds this month will determine everything. I'm talking about fermented organic teas, specifically fermented plant juice, or FPJ, and fermented leaf compost extract, a practice deeply rooted in Korean natural farming and traditional homestead wisdom. This isn't just about feeding your soil, it's about waking it up. By October, your plants are slowing down, temperatures are cooler, and microbial life is shifting gears, preparing for winter. This is the exact moment when soil organisms are most receptive to microbial-rich liquids. Unlike spring, where nutrients get immediately gobbled up by fast-growing plants, October applications sink deep, transform humus, and build long-term soil fertility. Pouring a fermented plant extract or compost tea in October gives microbes time to digest, multiply, and structure your soil from within. The result? Come spring, your beds will be alive before you even plant a seed. Worms will be waiting, mycelium threads will be visible, your soil will smell sweet and earthy, not tired and compacted. FPJ is made by fermenting green plant material, things like comfrey, pumpkin leaves, sweet potato vines, or even weeds, together with brown sugar or molasses. As it ferments, beneficial bacteria and enzymes break down plant tissues into bioavailable nutrients and growth hormones that, really supercharge microbial activity when poured into the soil. What makes FPJ better than fertilizer? Well, it doesn't just add nutrients, it feeds the microbial workforce that builds humus. It encourages root symbiosis, improving nutrient uptake naturally. It doesn't wash away like NPK fertilizers. It binds into the carbon structure of your soil. It introduces living biology, not just chemical signals. When poured in October, this living liquid seeps into the root zone, colonizing it with friendly microbes that remain active even through cold months, especially under mulch. So, you really don't need any fancy equipment for this. All you need is just a bucket, some leafy greens, and a natural sugar source. That's it. Alright, here's how to do it. First, harvest fresh green leaves. You want to choose vigorous growth. Comfrey is king, but honestly, weeds like amaranth, nettle, or even just grass clippings work really well too. Next, chop the greens and weigh them. Whatever the weight is, just add half that amount of brown sugar or molasses. Super simple, right? Now, for the next step, massage and pack. Mix and squeeze everything together until the leaves start to release their moisture. Then, pack it all tightly into a jar or bucket and cover it loosely. After that, let it ferment for 7 days. Just keep it shaded. After a week, go ahead and strain the dark liquid. That's your FPJ concentrate, ready to use. Alright, so, before you use your FPJ, you'll want to dilute it. Mix about 2 tablespoons per liter of water, or if you're using a watering can, just go with 1 cup per can. Once you've got it mixed, it's good to go. Just pour it right over your soil or mulch layer. Timing and method really do matter here. For October, it's best to do this on a cool afternoon, or just before a rainfall if you can. The rain, honestly, will help carry your brew deep down into the soil profile, making sure those nutrients get where they're needed. Here's your step-by-step application ritual. First, lightly pull back your mulch to expose the topsoil. Then, water the soil with your diluted FPJ or compost extract. Think of it as, inoculating your land with life. After that, gently replace the mulch. This creates a warm, moist blanket that protects microbes and encourages those fungal networks to spread. And hey, if you're gardening in a cold region, consider laying an extra layer of shredded leaves over your mulch. That way, you lock in microbial activity deeper into winter. Fertilizers feed plants. Fermented extracts feed soil life, which in turn creates a permanent system of fertility. Fertilizers are a short conversation with your garden. Microbial ferments are a long-term relationship. Here's what gardeners who do this in October notice by spring. Soil shifts from dusty or compacted to crumbly and dark. Worm tunnels appear everywhere when you dig. Mulch breaks down 5 times faster, turning directly into humus. Seedlings transplanted in spring take off instantly, with no shock. Pest pressure drops because healthy soil means balanced plant immunity. This is soil alchemy, not just gardening. If you want to take this to the next level, dust a small amount of wood ash or pre-charged biochar after pouring the FPJ. The alkaline minerals bind to the organic acids in the brew, locking nutrients in place and forming stable humus compounds. Biochar acts like a microbial hotel, providing permanent housing for the living organisms you're adding. Ash delivers trace minerals and potassium, but always use lightly, not more than a thin pinch across the soil surface. If you don't have time to ferment plants, here's a quicker shortcut that still does wonders. Just fill a bucket with your oldest compost. Even halfway broken down compost works, honestly. Add some non-chlorinated water and give it a really good stir for about 2 or 3 minutes. Then, let it sit overnight, stir again, and strain it out. You'll want to apply the liquid exactly like you would with fermented plant juice. This compost extract, it actually floods your soil with indigenous microbes that are totally adapted to your climate and your garden's own ecosystem. Pouring this in October is kind of like seeding the underground world with life before winter really sets in. Don't expect an explosion right away. Seriously, the magic happens quietly, but here's what to look out for. Your mulch will start shrinking and turning black from fungal breakdown. When you lift a handful of soil, you'll spot white fungal threads and see active worm castings. The earthy smell, that rich forest floor scent, will get stronger each week, and by the first warm day of spring your garden will look like it's already awake. Gardening isn't just about feeding plants, it's about building soil communities. Pouring this fermented life elixir in October is like, planting the invisible crop, the crop of microbes that will feed every real crop you grow next year. If you do this once, you'll never see your soil the same way again. So, are you ready to bring your soil to life? If this resonated with you, if you love gardening the old wise soil-first way, then you're already part of the Soil Sage Chronicles family. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and share this guide with a gardener who still thinks fertilizer is the answer. Let's bring real soil wisdom back to our gardens, one October pour at a time.